Hey guys, so today we're going to look at the Messi Feint against Boateng, which I've done many times before, but it's always good to refine the technique and to make sure you're doing it correctly. So here's the clip of Messi. As Messi goes towards the ball, he kind of does like the hop. You see that leg kind of flails out. His knee is bent over on his left foot, which is I find quite difficult to do. Naturally, you kind of want to extend your leg out there because that's what's most natural. But he kind of like propels his leg this way, so his knee drives forward, and then his leg or his foot kind of wraps around. So it's hard to see in this angle. So I'll show it in a different angle later. But you see here, he kind of like jumps up. It's like an arc. And then, but when he gets here, he kind of like stomps his foot. So that's what I find is needed to imitate Messi's dribbling style, at least when you dribble fast. So when you dribble a bit slower, you don't have to like do it this way. But you see that foot; it's fairly flat on the ground. Whereas a lot of times if you like dribble a bit slower, like you don't have enough time to like kind of wrap your foot and stomp your foot. So a lot of times your heels like lift off the ground as your toes touch the ground there. But I find it's good. And just to go over some other fundamentals, you see Messi's body is upright, and then his shoulders are relaxed, and then this part's actually the easiest part of the move, where you actually do the feint, extend that leg, drop that shoulder, and go to the other side. In my opinion, the hardest move is like when you do that little hop, and then kind of twist your ankle in, and then stomp your foot on the ground like this. Just to illustrate, here's the other angle of him doing it there. So you see that ankle, initially it's pointed over there, and then as he hops, touches the ball, it kind of goes this way, and he stomps his kind of foot on the ground like this. And at this point, it kind of looks like he's just standing one-legged. He's not moving forward. So that's what I was trying to imitate. So here's my attempt. So just compare frame by frame. Let's see what I do similarly and differently to Messi. So we're about to take our last touch before the feint. And over here, this is where I'm kind of off the ground, and I go with the side of my foot. And then Messi does that same thing too. And her legs are bent a bit at the knee. And this is where, after we take our touch, we kind of like put our foot in this way and stomp on the ground. And then I do the same thing, and I just stomp on the ground. So it kind of looks like I'm standing like one-legged at this point with my leg back like Messi. And then as we go towards the ball like this, again, looks fairly similar to Messi. Now you see Messi's shoulders, it seems a little bit more dropped. So I say, relax your shoulders, and when you extend your leg naturally, your shoulder does drop. But I think I could maybe forcibly drop my shoulder a bit more and just lean a bit more over to my right, because maybe that would just add a little bit more flair to the move. I find a lot of times, when people do a shoulder drop, like, they instead of their shoulder there, they like overdo it and do it there. And I don't think that's necessary, but I think a little bit more of a shoulder drop might do the trick. So I'll practice that and see how much more effective the move is. So I mentioned this move in my previous video where Messi takes a touch with the inside toe before doing a feint. And as I mentioned before, as Messi approaches the ball, he takes a tap with the inside toe, but he's only on the ground for a split second. He just barely grazes the ground because he did a previous hop. So that makes him like, it's almost instantaneous. It's like you do one touch, like the defender thinks, oh, he might be going to the side. And then that leg extension and that feint and the shoulder drop almost like confirms the move for the defender. So sometimes they go like flying this way before you go to the other side. So I find this is a good angle. You see Messi doing kind of a flick before, so I find a lot of times when you do a feint once and an inside cut once, or a couple times, a lot of defenders will catch on, or players marking you. So what they'll try to do is kind of like force you to go over this way and kind of angle their body this way, and they're prepared to take you down the line and maybe like put an arm on you to like push you off the ball. And if you do feint and go to the other side, they're close enough and where they can react and take the ball and maybe go shoulder to shoulder. So at this point, I find this is really helpful because you're going. You kind of like move the ball slightly there, and the defender thinks you might be able to go to the side, and then when you do the feint there, they really have to adjust their position because if they say if you were to do an inside cut all the way there, like they would be out of position and you could go past. So they're like anticipating the move in advance. So when you do this kind of move, they're really forced to like shift their body there, and that's when you can easily go over to this side. So that's actually what I discovered earlier today. And here's my attempt. So I already like did one similar as last time, but this move is very helpful when I guess players catch on with the feint and the inside cut. I kind of want to just do this and try to make this natural. So as I go here, I kind of like top with this foot there, and then tap with the inside of the foot with the ball, so it's kind of shifts. Doesn't go over to the left that much, but it's just a little tap that sometimes can fool the defender. Leg extension, drop of the shoulder, and then over to this side. So to illustrate my point about that kind of position where you're doing like a tap with the inside of the foot, the toe, before doing the feint would be helpful. Let's see the match against Casemiro. Okay, so this isn't Casemiro. Casemiro's kind of like over to the right. You don't see him on the screen, but again, the same point. He's forcing Messi to go over there, and he's close enough where if he does anticipate the inside cut, Casemiro, he's a lot stronger than Messi. He can, and quite quick. He can get over there, get a foot to the ball while pushing Messi off the ball. And since he's like at such a tight angle, he's not coming over here. He's coming over this way. Doing like a feint into the side, it's not as effective. He's going right into like Casemiro's zone. So he would probably have to like at the very least try to like flick it backwards, which isn't ideal. So you see as Casemiro comes flying in, you see this Messi takes a little touch. It's not the biggest touch. Sometimes you don't even have to touch. You just have to put your foot near the ball. It's the ever so slightest grazed, but you take a touch, you do a feint that kind of confirms Casemiro, and he comes flying over to the other side. So Messi does this move quite a few times, and I find naturally a lot of defenders try to position themselves this way after learning my moves as well.